Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel Crazy Coders. Today we will create a rock paper scissors game using Python. So let's start. First of all, let's see the end product of our code. Let's understand the game we're gonna build by playing it. I'm running my Python file in which code is written. So let's see what it is. The first thing I can see is the contents. There are no other contents in the terminal apart from the things that code is printing. So that's a thing, means clearing the terminal before the execution of our code is a part of the game. So that's what we understand here. And now the first line, as you can see, is letting me know enter exit to stop playing. So it is just letting me know that if you want to exit or if you want to stop playing, enter exit. And then there are spaces between. Okay, that's great. And then there is like a message saying rock paper scissors shoot. Now the third line says choose your weapon, rock paper or scissor, and it is asking me an input. So whatever I enter, it will take in as input. So one thing I also understand by this format is the R and the P and S are in square brackets. So maybe the developer want me to know that you can enter initials also. So let's try that. Let's play game. I will enter R first. So it is letting me know what I choose. It is letting me know what computer choose, and rock does not beat paper. Paper beats rock, so computer win this time. It's great. Now let's enter P. So I choose P, computer choose S, scissor beats paper, and computer win again. Oh no, I'm not winning. Let's try rock again. So I choose R and computer also choose R. That is mean both choose rock. That's why it's a tie. So now we mostly understand what we're gonna create. We have understood the game. We have understood the working of the code. So let's start coding. Before it, let's exit our game. So as you can see, the pie is also printed on the terminal when we enter exit. So that's great. So let's start coding. I have created a new Python file and named it rps.py. Now let's quickly import all the required modules. So let's import random, let's import OS, let's import RD. This module contains lot of functions with different functionalities. Importing them enables us to use those functions in our program. So now let's clear the terminal. For that we will use a function name system which is defined in OS module. So let's use it. To use it, we have to follow a syntax, that is name of the module dot name of the system, and the system takes one parameter, that is if we pass CLS, then what this actually does is it clears all the contents of the terminal and makes our program run right from the top. So on the top we have to print one message, that is, so this will help the user know to how to exit the program. So that's great. Now let's use a while loop with the condition true. So this loop will keep executing all the code inside until a break statement appears. It is very good loop when the exit condition of a loop is based on user input. So in this, which is true in this case, that if user enters exit, then only we have to exit the loop. That's great. Now let's code our loop. First thing we have to do is add an empty line. For that we will use an escape sequence. /n is an escape sequence. What this actually does is it just creates an empty line and pushes the cursor to the next line. That means on the top it will print this message, and when it encounters this message, the interpreter leaves the line and starts the execution of the next message on a new line. So it just simply means go to a new line, leave this line. That's what it does. So now let's print our title of the program: rock paper scissor shoot. And now let's ask the user input and store it in a variable named user choice. Input message will be choose a weapon. And names of the weapon are rock, paper, scissor. So let's put the initials in square brackets so that user can understand initials are accepted. Now let's check if the user input is exit or not. For that we will use an if statement. User choice.low. What this does is it just lowercase all the input that is stored in the user choice variable, and let's check it with exit. So since exit is also lowercase, so this will match if user has entered exit, no matter what the case in which user enters. So if the user input is exit, then we have to print a bye message, exit message, that is bye, and end the loop. This will allow him to exit the program. So now we have checked one condition, that is if user choice is exit or not. So now we have to check if user has entered a valid input, that is rock, paper or scissor, R, P or S. So since we have to have a correct input to evaluate the winner, we have to check it. So now for that we will use an if statement and a function called match defined in RE module. So let's do that. If not re.match. So yeah, our match function is defined in RE module. We have imported the RE module. RE stands for regular expression. So re.match lets us use those functions in our program. So this function takes two parameters. One is pattern. So pattern should be in double quotes, and since we are checking one alphabet, we use this syntax. So and the second parameter is a string, which in this case is our user input, that is stored in user choice. So now what this function does is it checks if this pattern exists in this variable or not. If exists, then this will return true. If does not exist, it will return false. So in this case, our input should be either one of the variable. Our input should contain either one of the alphabets, that is S stands for scissor, P stands for paper, R stands for rock. So if user choice, that is input, contains one of these, then it's a valid input, and this will return true. If the user choice does not contain one of the alphabets mentioned here, then this will return false. So if this return false, then not false will become true, then this if statement will execute. But if this returns true, which happens when the input is valid, not true will become false. So in simple words, this if statement works only if the user input is not valid. If user input is not valid, then we have to let the user know what is a valid input. So for that, let's print something, that is choose a valid weapon. Choose a valid weapon, and what are the choices of the valid weapon? That are rock, paper, scissor. Let's introduce an OR, and we have to place them in double quotes. Let's introduce an OR here as well. That's great. So since we have checked, see if user has not entered a correct input, then we have to let him know what are the correct inputs, and then we have to ask the user input again. So for that, I will use a continue statement that lets the interrupter know to start the loop from the starting. So this statement ignores all the code below and just makes interrupters know that the loop should start from the beginning. So if the user input is not valid, then it will again print empty line, then again print the title, then again ask for the input, and again checks if your input is exit or not, then again checks if input is valid or not. That's what we want. That's great. Oh my god, we haven't started it. Since we are sure about this, that is code below this will only execute if the user is entered a valid input. So now let's print that valid input. Your choice. Let's use formatting. For that we have to F in the beginning. So what this will print is your choice and the value of the input. So now since user choice has been confirmed, what we have to do is we have to let the computer choose one of them. So let's create a create a list with elements R or P and S, or not D, S. So that's great. We have created a list with a rock, paper, scissors as the choices. Now we have to let the computer choose one of these elements randomly so that the game is fair. For that we will use a function that is defined in random module, and the name of that function is choice. So let's use it, and let's create a variable to store that elements. So let's use this function random.choice. So what this function actually does is it takes a sequence as a parameter. That is, list is also a sequence in Python. There are many sequences. So list is one of the sequence. So it takes a list as a parameter and chooses one of the element randomly. So like choice, choose one of the elements randomly. So every time the loop runs, it chooses one of the elements randomly. That's great. We have computer choice as well. Now let's print the computer choice. That is formatting. We have use the computer choice. Choice. So now we have got computer choice. We have got user choice. Now let's check the conditions, like if they are equal, if who is winning, if paper or not. For that, first of all, let's check if both are equal or not. If com choice is equal to user choice, we will make the user choice uppercase. What this does is, since computer choice is a capital letter that represents rock, paper, scissors, but in input we are accepting small as well, so we have to uppercase our input for a valid check. So this will check. Then if they are equal, print pi. Now the second statement will be LF. Now instead of checking all the conditions, we'll just check conditions where computer is in, and if that's not the case, then yeah, of course, if computer is not winning, then that means the user is winning. So let's check if if form choice is equal to R, and if user choice is equal to S, which is user dot upper, the uppercase of user choice, that is, if it's equal to s, then print rock beat scissor computer win. So now if we found the winner, we have to start the loop from the beginning, that is ask for the user input, print the empty line and all this, and again check. For that we have used continue statement, so that loop runs again since we found the winner. If that's not the case, let's use elif. I will copy it, which is com choice. If com choice is p, then the only way to win is it has to be rock, if user choice is rock. So now same thing, not same thing but little modification, paper beat rock, computer win. So then again the third way to win is com choice, if com choice is scissor, and if this is paper, if user choice is paper. So if that happens, and one more thing we missed here is to start the loop from the beginning. If we found the winner, that's important. So now if com choice is scissor and user choice dot uppercase is paper, then we have to, we know that scissor beats paper, so we have to write that scissor beats paper, computer win, and then continue the loop again. So if that's not the case, then we know else you win, right? You win. Computer is not winning, of course you win, and start the loop from the beginning, that is ask the user input again. So I think we have completed all the conditions. Now let's play the game to check if everything is fine. Oh, my PC is very slow. So as you can see, the contents are cleared and our program is starting from the top of the terminal, and the first thing is displaying enter exit to stop playing, and then there is empty line, and then there is a title, and then there is an input message. So let's input R. So your choice R, computer choices also R, then it's a title. So let's enter T. So they choose a valid weapon, rock, paper or scissor. Yes, it was not a valid input. The match function checked it. It's great, and it's asking me again. So let's this time enter P. Computer choose also P, and that's a tie again. Let's use S. This time computer choose R. We choose S. Then we lose. So now since we have played enough times, our code is worked perfectly. You can try your own versions. So for now I'm exiting. Yes, it is print bar, and I know what these things are happening. I entered something, sorry for that, but that's the end of the program. Yes, thank you. We'll catch you up in the next video.